Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I know I've not been posting much recently, I'm sorry. I've had a digital art block, which basically just means I've not been able to create digital art, but I have been creating endless amounts of traditional art. That's probably my TAFE's fault, or art school, if you will. Um, I've just been doing traditional art recently, and I can't. I haven't really been able to do much digital art, even though I've been wanting to and trying to. So I've been in a really big My Hero Academia phase recently, and I thought I should talk about one of my old Persona OC self-insert characters. Just because I thought it would be fun, and because I also post some My Hero Academia art over on my Instagram, so if you like this art, go check that out. I'll basically just be talking about this character throughout the rest of the video, and I'm sorry for not posting for ages. This also might be a two-parter because I have lots to talk about. Um, anyways, hopefully be getting back into a regular posting schedule very soon. If I don't, I'm just going to my art school. But without further ado, let's start the video. Okay, so my OC, my little baby boy, his name is AOUMI Takashi, which I'm pretty sure AOUMI just means like water or blue or something in Japanese, and Takashi means um like shark or something. I don't know. Anyway, the first art I'm showing you is actually the first art I ever created of him and drew of him. So he is based on a great white shark and a tiger shark. And as the speed paint goes on, you're gonna be like, where's the tiger shark? OC lore. This is gonna be AOUMI lore and art as it's evolved over the years. So basically, also, the world of My Hero Academia is what he's based in, so I probably should have started with that. Sorry. So, if you don't know, My Hero Academia is a anime and manga written by Horikoshi something. I'm sorry, I don't know if I pronounced your name right. And it's basically a world where superpowers exist, but instead of calling them superpowers, they're quirks. And some people are born with them and some people aren't. And there's these people don't just exist in Japan, that's just where it's based. But there can be people of quirks in all different countries. And basically, the main school that they all go to, well, the main characters all go to is UA. And that's basically the top of top schools to get into for hero training. It's all about training. The school is all about training young children, students, teenagers, 15 to like 17 to become heroes. But the twist is when they're in like early schooling years, they're not allowed to use their quirks. Also, there's a difference between mutation quirks and like emitter quirks or something is like that. So basically, Bakugo, Todoroki, and Deku, they don't have like physical appearance changes. Yes, they kind of match their quirk and appearance, but that's more for character design wise. But they're not like part animal or have any physical like different appearance based on a quirk. Their quirks are about like, well, specifically Bakugo's is like his explosion, so he can explode things with his hand, and Todoroki's emitting fire, and Deku is every quirk at once. I'm also gonna reference them the most, or Kirishima, because they're the main characters, and Kirishima's my personal favorite. But basically, AOUMI has a mutation quirk, which means he is physically his quirk. Like, his quirk doesn't come from him, he is his quirk. And his quirk is, a mix between blue, I call it a blue shark, but it's just a great white shark. But blue shark, I just like saying blue shark. And a tiger shark, but sorry. But the tiger shark doesn't come in until he gets into water. He's kind of like a merman. So when he goes into water, willingly he can transform. It's not like some H2O shit where he touches water and he's like, oh no, clear the condensation, and turns into a freaking merman. He can willingly kind of choose to do that when he gets into water. It's just also, he also gets really huge, which is why his name changes from whatever it is to Megalodon, because Megalodon sharks are also kind of like my favorite sharks, and I love them. But the speed paint that you're watching now is also his first ever like proper design. So like the school uniform is just this UA school uniform. He is technically in class 1A, even though there's like a 20 student limit or something. Basically I turned the limit to like 25, and which doesn't matter because I don't have any other, well, I have a few other My Hero Academia OCs, so I kind of just made that the limit was 25. Even though it doesn't really matter, but then that way I was like, okay, well then Shinso can join their class, and like I can have a few other OCs plopped in there. But what I want to talk about, we're talking about AOUMI, and his hero costume is like shark based, so it's kind of like this cool cropped thing, and then it's also like a wetsuit because he's a shark, haha, funny. And his shoes having like teeth on them is something that I thought would be really funny, but I'm pretty sure I didn't add that until later. Yeah, he's also trans because he is kind of a persona. So like this is my Hero Academia OC version of him, he is a persona now, or self-insert if you will. So he's also trans, and he has trans scars and all of that sort of thing. Overall, I kind of just love his hero costume the most. His casual's kind of boring, and I'm pretty sure I changed that a bit in his new design. And then the school uniform is just school uniform. Okay, so this next bit is about who I shipped AOUMI with. So if you don't know this, it's very common in the MHA, which is short for My Hero Academia, if you didn't know, fandom, is to ship an OCU or persona self-insert that you make with a canon character. Not all of them are, but some of them are. And I did that with AOUMI. And I thought it would be funny, since he's a shark, that I'd ship him with Kirishima, because Kirishima is canonically or fandomly known to like love sharks. Just want to say that's not the only reason he likes AOUMI. Don't worry, there's actual lore that I will try to go into, but mostly it's just I also love Kirishima, so I always have. He's always been my favorite character since I started watching the anime, like when I was in year 8 or something. That was like 2018 or something, 2019, something like that. 2019, I'll just say 2019 for the sake of it. I started watching My Hero Academia around 2019, and that's when I fell in love with him, and I've not stopped loving him since. I have a fair bit of merch, which I might put on the screen or I might not. Depends how fucking lazy I am. Anyway, he's my favorite. I mean, just look at him. Look at him. He's cute. He's handsome. He's manly. And he's fucking goofy as fuck. I love him. But basically, AOUMI and Kirishima are like my favorite characters to I just love them. Oh yeah, and for this drawing at the beginning, I did use these 3D models, which I actually made the poses myself. My program allows me to do that, and I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people say that's cheating. I'm like, bah. Literally, that's what they're for. They're for helping. So, like, shut the fuck up. I also use human references. It's literally the same thing, bro. Anyway, basically with AOUMI and Kirishima, I started shipping them. I didn't actually make AOUMI until like 2022 or something, 2023. It was a little while ago, but it's also not long ago. I didn't actually make OCs when I first watched the show. I also didn't know there was mangas until I watched the show. I actually own some of the mangas too now, so that is crazy. Honestly, the fandom is pretty toxic overall, so it kind of sucks to be in this fandom. But at the same time, I love the lore around everything. But with AOUMI and Kirishima, the love story kind of goes, they somewhat knew each other in, like, middle school. But AOUMI was a very quiet person, because back then, he looked more feminine because he was born a girl. And if you don't know Kirishima's lore, he was just a very anxious little boy because he was anxious about his quirk. Because it hurt him, and he didn't want to hurt others with it. But then he realized he could use his quirk to help others rather than to be afraid of it, because it hurt him at one point. And they didn't really know each other. They were in each other's classes in middle school, but that was pretty much it. And when they go to high school, at UA, that's when they re-meet again. And the love story doesn't really start until, like, they start liking each other at their first year of UA, but they don't get together until their second to third year, only because I don't really like the idea of making young characters, like, in love, especially with a story that's based around, like, heroing, if that makes sense. Like, obviously there's nothing wrong with it, and obviously I still do it for fun, and I just, like, none of the art that I make of them is, like, canon to their story. It's more just for fun, and I like drawing them together. I was contemplating actually writing a fanfic about them, but but yeah, so basically they go to school together, and then AOUMI and Kirishima both go, wait, you're this kid that I knew in school, and they're like, haha, that's so funny, we both changed so much. I mean, like, Kirishima dyed his hair. I love him. He is me, and I am him. But yeah, and then they fight together, they get along pretty well. AOUMI joins what the fandom calls the Baku Squad, which I think is so funny, and I just love the idea of AOUMI and Bakugo just, like, beefing 24/7, because AOUMI gained a lot of confidence after somewhat transitioning by cutting his hair and all this stuff. But yeah. Overall, I love them, and I have made a few different art pieces for them, but honestly, we're getting to nearly, like, the end of the video, and I feel like I've not shown that much art or talked about anything useful. So I'm probably gonna end the first part here and pick up the second part, with probably more AOUMI and Kirishima, or more just AOUMI lore, because I need to, like, actually yap about useful information. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching if you watched all the way to the end. If you like what I do, just comment, like, and subscribe if you feel like seeing more of my goofy little guys. I'll probably go into more My Hero Academia, like, lore about my other OCs in the future at some point, and also I do other stuff like My Little Pony and Miraculous Ladybug, and also turning monster energy cans, which I haven't actually posted that video, into people! Yeah, I do that here, so if you like that, maybe you should think about sticking around. Anyways, thank you all for watching so much, and bye-bye.